called Uncle Silas, and Silas is like the oldest name in the. Oh hey. Upcycling can be tricky when you've got maybe some fabric that's synthetic or maybe plastic. I'm sorry, I about tight, and maybe because there's some correspondence in it. What did last night Laurs get up to while she was drinking her chilled red? Let's just see. The catalyst of upcycling is, of course, climate change. Yeah. But what if you're a little pervert who wants to use clear vinyl, the devil's fabric? My objective is not purity and perfection. It is exploring ways to give garments a second life. Oh, very austere. And to rationalize the vinyl I bought years ago. But diet starts Monday, so I'm going to rework a blazer with a window cutout on the back. Well, let's check out those ingredients.
A cutting utensil, pens, tailor's chalk, a Sharpie or something, a ruler, a garment of your choice, tissue paper, and clear vinyl.
To front load this project, like I oft do for some reason, this one may not be for everyone. I'm going to be using vinyl. So there are other switcheroos you can make, I'm sure, like, you know, chiffon or something if you're not willing to deal with plastic and petroleum. But I bought this vinyl a while back and I've got it. So I'm going to use it because that's what we're doing here. So if you have an old shower curtain or you know when bedding comes in those like zip pouches, so use that. There you go. I think there's also bioplastics. Like it's one of those things I see on like Pinterest, and then I'm like, have I ever seen that in the real world? You know, where they're made from like lobster claws or mushrooms or something. So this is truly like a what is that thing with a microscope when there's the two pieces of glass and you put it in and like something's captured in it? Well, anyways, this this is like a slide that's capturing all the dust from my studio. So don't look too closely at it. Yeah, it's like fingerprints. It's basically like a DNA. Like, I'll just send this to 23andMe. I'm like, all right, tell me about myself. This is a big old piece of vinyl that I have not stored very well because it is very wrinkly. And I wonder if you could get like, not a heat gun because this would completely melt it, but maybe if I got like a hair dryer, would that smooth it out? I don't know. Yeah, I keep giving like questions. It's more question based today. I'm like, no. Anyone have any ideas? So what I'm going to do is cut out a piece of this blazer and create, oh, see, it's already happening. Okay. Sorry, it's going to be a real dusty one. Basically, I'm going to create a window in this blazer with like a vinyl inlay. So it's almost like the opposite of applique. So first, this could also be kind of interesting as like a pocket, but I'm just going to do it on the back. This is a nice big piece of fabric. And I've pinned it in place. I've tried it on just to kind of see where I wanted it to lay because I didn't want it to be, or lay. So let's see if that's about right. And it's one of those things where in my mind I'm like, oh, I want it to be huge. I want it to like, I don't want to go too small because I don't want it to be like comically small. But every time I go big with these, it like covers the whole back and it doesn't look special. It doesn't look right. So I have to go against my own instincts and make it smaller. So, yeah, I think it's about right. I think it's about 8 by 8 that I'm going to cut out. And you could do another shape if you want. I'm going to do a method of, I'm going to mark this in chalk and seam allowance and all that, but you can cut it out and like, we're going to iron it back. But you could also do, maybe this would make more sense if I actually started and instead of explaining all the alternatives. Again, I like to front load. I'm like, here's 5 options. You're like, you haven't even told us what we're doing. So Sorry, I get so excited. So like I said, 8 inches by 8 inches for a square. I could do a rectangle, but I'm just gonna, I've already pinned it. So it's gonna be tricky to make this straight because there is a bit of a contour to it. So some of that I might have to sort of smooth out in the ironing process because it might be hard to like, because it is measuring 8 by 8, but it looks, let me make sure this is centered too. I might be way off here. I mean, yeah, it's a little off, I guess. Okay. It's hard. I'm going like according. I'm like, oh, there's pinstripes, so I can just measure. It's like no, again, there's contours. It's not really working out. Okay. All right. And see now I'm like, oh wait, that's right. Keep all this in. It's riveting. People are on the edge of their seats. Oh my god, make a move, girl. I'm gonna open this up a little bit. All right. Oh, I was like, this will be a quick one today, and I'm like acting like it's like neurosurgery. Ugh, never say like this will be a quick one. No, it really is like. I feel like each time I look at it, it's more off than it was before, and I'm like, I'm getting further away from it. Like, I've actually done this one before. I think I somehow bought two identical blazers, and so in a way, I'm like, we've done this before, but I'm like, well, it was like 2 years ago. See, like, this doesn't feel right because it's a pinstripe. I'm like, I'm going off. I'm like, okay. Again, see, I did that. I'm like, you got to trust the measurements, I guess. I don't know. So the only thing is, I'm like, okay, do I want 8 by 8 to be the actual window itself? Because this is a classic me where I'm like, well, let's go bigger. And the seam allowance, basically, I'm just trying to figure out if this is the cut edge or the, you know what I mean? It's with the seam allowance. I'm just trying to, yeah. So let me finish one thing and then I can move on. And of course, I'm like, this is the manufacturer. That it's not me being off. It is manufacturer error. Like when you're hemming pants, and it's like, how I've measured 37 times. How is this so off? Manufacturer error, of course. It's not me. Sorry, this is like slop right now. It's like flops and slops. Okay. I think I have to kind of see it. It's one of those things. Sometimes it's better to like trust the measurements, but sometimes it's better to trust like your visual eye because you don't want it to be like, well, this measured out, I guess, but it looks strange. I think that looks about right. There's something in here. But again, is it just because of the pinstripe? Sorry, I should have choose a solid jacket. That's what we've learned. Step one. Don't no pinstripes. Go with a crazy pattern or a solid or something. Okay. I think I want that to be the actual window. So I'm gonna go small, I said it. I etched it in stone. Okay. So if I want this to actually be the edge, as big as it's gonna get, the vinyl is just like, imagine the vinyl's there. That means I'm going to have to go inward. And trim away a little bit, let's see, about 3/8 of an inch into the square. And then I'll do a little like a mitered edge. Ooh, what am I, a woodworker? That's some college words. Yeah, it's even like French. I think it's like RE. So yeah. So I'll do a little catty corner. Mitered edge. Instead of talking about what I'm gonna do, I'll just do it. Okay, so we already know there's a 50% chance that it's going to like, you know what I mean, that it might be off because again, I'm still not trusting. No, there's a contour. Sorry. Again, keep every sentence in. Okay. So I'm going to do a little bit of a cut just to kind of start, and then I'll go in with the scissors to do the mitered edge, which I'll kind of show what I mean by that. All right. So just to kind of get me started. So first I'm just going to finish out that square. And then when we get to the corner, just sort of at a 45-degree angle, cut like not quite to the corner maybe, but just about to that corner that you want it to be at. Because we're going to iron it back. And so it's going to be flawless and smooth. or pretty much. And now is the point where I can say, if you were going for maybe more of a circle, I mean, I guess you could still, you wouldn't need to do it my hair edge, of course, but like, I don't know, it might be hard to like, what's what I'm looking for? Iron it inward. But you could do a, what's the word I'm looking for? Bias tape, you know. You could do, you know, get creative, or just it's raw, you know, and it's avant-garde, you know. It's I love how I'm like a raw edge. Can you think of anything more like out there and crazy?
It works though.
I mean, you know, yeah, it's like instantly you're an art student and you're at a gallery opening. I don't know. Okay. And if it's not exactly perfect, it's fine because it'll be tucked away. See, again, I'm like, it's too small, but I'm like, trust that it's gonna be fine. And if it is small, then yeah,
you can always make it bigger.
You always make it bigger. Exactly. I like to have an escape hatch. Sorry, I say that in every video, but it's true. Because like, what if everything goes pear-shaped and it's bad, and then you gotta be able to like pivot, move. Okay, I think I've done all of them, and yeah, I guess there's a world where you could multiverse where you could put the plastic on top. So you wouldn't need to miter the edge if you just really want to be like boom, boom, sew it on. But I'm going to do it underneath as more of an inlay. So I'll be basically ironing this back. I know it's kind of hard to see. It's like a mess of layers right now. Pinstripe. I know it's looks like deconstructed. I'll be ironing this back. Try to get it as neat looking as I can, and I'll be cutting a piece of plastic and then putting it or vinyl. I don't know really the difference technically, but anyway, vinyl underneath, and then we'll be sewing it along the edges, and it'll be a little window. Maybe we could put some curtains, some Venetian blinds. Oh my God, can you imagine? Actually, I think that'd be pretty cute. So let's get to ironing. So this is what it looks like, ironed and pinned, and I'm going to now cut a piece of vinyl to repin. I'm about to cut the piece of vinyl, but this might be a good, I don't know when to mention that. Here's the deal. When vinyl is against your skin, you're probably going to sweat. So let's just go ahead and say, like, I don't want comments that are like, I wore this and like there was condensation. It's like, because I have a pair of shoes that are like clear plastic and I want to wear them more often, but
and your little sweaty feet,
like,
yeah.
It just happens. I don't know.
Yep.
And I'm sure there's a way around it. Like,
is there? I mean, it's literally
perforations. Is that the
you're
word?
literally wrapping yourself in plastic.
Yeah. So, you could. I was gonna say you could do another layer of fabric, but then I'm like, well, is that the point? Yeah, unless you are. But I want the layer of clear.
I feel like if you have a garment that breathes, you're better off because like there are like full vinyl pants. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know
those
why,
are the ones that are pretty bad.
I don't know why it's my responsibility.
Yeah, it's
to
your fault.
Provide warnings, and I'm just saying that's just something I've noticed. So maybe don't wear it on like 100-degree day. Don't wear it to the beach because I don't have.
Just like bring Kleenex with you and just like wipe it off.
Just get a squeegee. Actually,
yeah, exactly.
Go full window. So that's just something I don't know. Maybe
just to be aware of.
Just be aware of.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't really have any. There's no other life hacks on that. I'm just like, this might happen. It will probably happen. I was thinking also this would be such a good way if you had like a gorgeous back tattoo to like show it off. So just saying. I don't know.
That's actually really
it's a genius
cool.
idea.
Yeah. We should get a back tattoo.
Yeah, we will. It'll actually be blinds.
Yeah.
I'll get Venetian blinds. You'll get curtains.
Perfect.
And yeah, enough said. Okay. I need to figure out at this point how much I want this to go beyond. Because you can always cut it away if it's a little too much. But, if it's 8, I'd probably like an extra ½ inch seems a little close. Maybe 3. Okay. So I'm just doing I love all this me doing math semi out loud. Okay. About 3/4 of an inch maybe extra. You can always cut it away. And in fact, you probably will want to cut away, especially like the corner, just so it's not like poking you. But for our purposes, if you add 1.5 inches to 8 inches, that makes it 9.5. Yep. So I'm going to do 9.5 by 9.5. Get out your old Sharpie and just draw right on the Sharpie. This stuff is out of control. I'm trying to think if I can use my rotary cutter. I don't know why that feels wrong.
I know.
Like
I feel like this is gonna destroy the blade.
Yeah, will it?
Guess we'll find out.
Yeah, that seems to work. I don't know if it does anything to the blade.
I mean, it needs to be sharpened.
Yeah, I know. Like, it's like video number 12 or whatever.
Like 6
and I'm
months
like,
in.
something, yeah. And it's,
Still
like,
not sure.
it's not cute, actually. Just change the blade. No one finds this charming. Okay. Anytime it comes to, this is just like I don't know what you call this, a tick or whatever. Like, every time it comes to, like, okay, cut the thing out, measure it, like, this is the point where I'm like, okay, you know, I really have to vamp, because I'm like, I don't know, I'm always so afraid of wasting, you know, I mean, obviously for obvious reasons, but, I guess I don't really have to mark this, but I am. But yeah, there is something final, I guess, about, when you cut it, you know. So hyper aware of trying not to be wasteful, but anyway. Wait, sorry. Wait, did I do that right? Is that the wrong? Why did I feel wrong? Okay. This doesn't look like a square. I fucked up. Something's fucked. Oh, wait. Okay. Sorry. I got it. Cut it out. Put this on the living room floor. This is nothing. Wow. Well, see, I was like, I'm so violently afraid of waste in there. Look, I'm drawing on it. It's wasted. Oh, man. Okay, there we go. That's a square. Again, I was like, this is going to be such a quick video. And it's like an hour and a half of me just trying to cut, like, a square. Here it is. I don't know what that was. Probably about right. It's like, again, it's kind of hard to tell until you pinned it because it's just
warbly.
It's a rag doll at this point. Yeah, so just roughly make sure it's the right size, but I'm going to be pinning it from the other direction. But again, that's an option. If you want to have it more like visible, you could pin it on the outside and sew it down that way. But I'm going to pin it on this side. And I guess when you pin it, it will create a little hole, and I just want to be careful to make sure I don't accidentally like get it off and pin too high and whatever, you know. This is kind of a tricky one in a way because everything is kind of moving around a lot, and like, so, but if you have to redo a stitch or something, I mean, you know, it's fine. So I've sort of anchored it with these pins, and then I'm just gonna keep pinning all the way around, and then I'll meet you at the sewing machine. To make the sewing experience nice and smooth, I'm going to use a piece of tissue paper. I have this lovely eBay motif. I don't know where this came from. Probably an eBay order. Anyway, I've cut these little strips to help me sew because you just need a little... I'm trying to think if it's one of those, if it's too much friction, lack of friction. There's something with friction that happens. Mm-hmm. The foot will kind of get stuck, and it's a big old mess. And so I could have pinned this in place, but I've already pinned it. So I might just try to, I hate sewing when you can't fully see it. But anyways, I'm going to do my best.
Is it because of the metal foot getting stuck on the...
Yeah, I'm trying to think, because it's basically wherever the plastic is. If the plastic was like underneath more, like, because I mean, how do I say it? It's like, if I was sewing it, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? If it were against the feed dogs more, I think it would get caught on that. But now it's kind of getting stuck on
the actual
the foot and like the rhythm of it, and it's just, yeah.
It's not fabric, so
it's not fabric. You know, you'll never be fabric, sweetie. So I'm just trying to make sure I actually capture the kind of, I keep calling it a seam allowance. It's not a seam, but you know what I'm saying, the fold. Mm-hmm. Okay. So it'll look a little crazy. And now I'm going to do the semi-satisfying, semi-infuriating task of tearing away the tissue paper. Here's the final look. So cute.
You have something taped to the window?
What? Did she write the outro too? Thank God. Guess she had a second glass of wine. All right. What did last night Laurs write? There's an interesting dichotomy to a rework like this. Sometimes projects sprout from finding uses for less than ideal materials we already have on hand. So your old shower curtain can be your new show-stopping art gallery opening ensemble. Well, definitely one for the books. Now go on, you good thing. Someone put plastic on this blazer. Can you believe it? Well, I used to just get crazy even drinking one cup. Especially if I didn't eat or drink enough water, it would make me a bitch on wheels.
Same.
So anyway, just clear of that. Just clear of that. You see what I did there? Oh my God. Not to paraphrase myself, but
Someone wise once said.
someone gorgeous live once. Is any of this usable?
Yeah,
Okay.
all of it.